Thanks so much for being with me, Jules.
Thanks
Here at
for
the
having me.
CHFA 2023. The years fly by. Wonderful crowd, big, a lot of engagement going on here. Thank you for talking to me about this incredibly important campaign. It's very close to my heart, as natural health products have always been as a clinician and stakeholder in the industry. Let's start off with this off camera. We were just talking a moment ago as you are heading really this initiative. And by the way, great job. I think people need to know who you are and follow you in social media and listen to what you have to say, because the time is now to act. We really have to literally and figuratively save our supplements. But off camera, you were saying that one of the most common comments around this issue is that most folks, or a lot of folks that is, don't even know that the supplement industry is regulated. Let's start there, because it's unbelievable to me.
No, it's a good place to start. So, we are posting a lot. We are trying to get the word out there, not only about the campaign, but also, to promote industry. It's a wonderful industry. It's a thriving industry in Canada within our space. And I think when we do post, there's a lot of support out there. Canadians are really answering the call. They're really using their voice to support and say, these products are important to me in my life, in my home, and with my family. But most of the, I'll say, more negative comments are actually just people who don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And I think there's a lot of Canadians still who probably use natural health products every day, but don't realize that Canada has one of the most stringent, but also world-renowned regulatory systems in the world.
Right, it's impressive.
It's impressive. Other countries look up to us. We really want Canadians to know that when you use a natural health supplement, if you look at the bottle or the container, because it's so many different types of products, but when you see an NPN number, that product has been approved by Health Canada, right? Like, a lot of information has to be submitted in order to get that approval to sell to Canadians. And it's a system that we should all be proud of. And it's a system that Canadians should know and trust, because it was put in place to protect the safety and health of Canadians.
Absolutely. And I purposely put cart before horse there. Let's start at the beginning, because again, just to drive this home, when somebody looks at a product that's considered a natural health product, and to your point, this could be toothpaste, could be cosmetic or a shampoo, often known as a supplement that you ingest to supplement your diet, or perhaps a nutraceutical to add, therapeutic intention through a clinician. An NPN, which stands for natural product number, essentially confers the same safety and regulatory status as a drug. Not quite, but similar, right? Could you elaborate on that?
100%. So in order to get an NPN in Canada, natural product number, the company must submit a lot of information, including, ingredient information, testing information, stability information. We look at, the science behind the product, the formulation. All of that is submitted to health. And health takes time, a lot of time, but does take time to look at that information and say, this product is of low risk for Canadians, therefore it is safe to be sold and can be trusted by Canadians. And that product will have an NPN number. And I think it's something that goes unnoticed because it's tiny, it's small print, right? Who wants to read the small print?
Right.
But if Canadians take that number and type it into any online search, it's going to bring up the Health Canada database that is going to give them all the information in regarding to ingredients, all the information regarding any claim that can be made about the product, and as well as any cautionary information. So it's a system that, again, is world renowned. It's a system that we should respect, and it's a system we're trying to save, because at the moment it is being teared apart by Health Canada, and we're trying to fight for it.
Almost at this day and age, with a lot of online purchases, certainly post-pandemic, and everyone kind of relying on direct to doorstep for a lot of their natural health products, what we're doing here in Canada is almost the antithesis of what regulations, or lack thereof, occur in the US south of the border. When we see these little label claims, or label prints rather, that says not reviewed by the FDA, we are saying in Canada, an NPN is the fact that Health Canada is reviewed by a government level health expert to say safety, efficacy is in place.
Exactly. It's the opposite. So when we look to a US model, and it's an easy model to compare to because they're our friends, just south of the border. When we look to the US, they do have that disclaimer where what they consider to be dietary supplements, for us, it's a much broader scope of product, but in the States, a dietary supplement it'll have that FDA because the Food and Drug Administration does not review the claims of those products. They have much more post-market monitoring. In Canada, we can trust in the pre-market monitoring of natural health products, and it's something we're very proud of here at CHFA.
We should all be very proud. The Save Our Supplements campaign has been instrumental in raising awareness about the regulatory changes impacting natural health products in Canada. Can you share with us the genesis of this campaign, the response that it's received so far, and of course, how it's influencing the dialogue with Health Canada and other stakeholders?
The response could bring me to tears, quite frankly, because it's been so enormously supportive of industry, right? We said industry, we are CHFA, we are here to support our members, but this is a time to be really inclusive and support the entire industry. And Canadians have come out and really answered the call to say, we need to save our supplements. These products are important to us. They're important to us in our daily lives. They're important for how I care for myself, for my family. Practitioners have come out and said the same thing. These products are important for me to continue to care for my patients. And Canadians at large have been overwhelmingly supportive and getting that message across. When you're in a campaign, the important part is to get that message across to government and to politicians. And through the SOS campaigns, there are over 350,000 postcards that have been sent in to MPs across the country. Online, there are 80,000 electronic letters that have been sent to MPs, with the health minister being copied on every single one of them. So we're like little mosquitoes in the health minister's office, and that is the intention. It's to say, Canadians, we know these products are important for you. This is the time to rally together and use your voice to tell government and to tell Ottawa that we need to go back to the drawing board in terms of how this system works, how this system should work, and what we can do to keep it thriving in Canada.
If you're at home listening to this, to leverage your analogy, I think it's a Taoist saying that I'm going to loosely translate or paraphrase. If you think small things don't make big changes, try living in a room with a mosquito.
Exactly.
Right? I love that saying.
Exactly.
So consumer impact, how will the new regulations and labeling requirements directly affect consumers, particularly in terms of product availability, pricing, and diversity of choice in natural health products?
Such a topic of concern for us is the end user at this moment in time. So like you mentioned, we're here at CHFA now, Toronto. We have close to 1,100 booths here at this trade show. So
wow,
that
big
is,
year.
Yeah, it's massive in here. I don't think the camera can ever give anyone the scope, but we are surrounded by booths, and a substantial percentage of the booths here today are natural health products, brands, companies, startups, right? Innovative companies. And we bring in retailers from across the country in order to help get these products on shelves across retail stores across Canada, so that consumers can walk in to a natural health food store, to a Costco, and have options and have a variety of products that they can choose from and make their own educated decision on what is best for them. If this industry is destroyed in the way that Health Canada is looking to at this moment in time, this show will be considerably smaller. So imagine, those are products that will never make it to shelf. Those are products that will never be in front of a consumer for someone to purchase, because the variety, the accessibility is just going to go down. The ones who are remaining, we're looking at price increases of 30 to 35%. That is not what Canadians need right now.
Right.
You know, we use these products to care for ourselves. We use these products to care for our families. We're seeing, elevated prices across the board, right? We know the whole debate that's happening with groceries right now, but yet that one section of the store is going to be also 30 to 35% more expensive. This should not be, elitist. These products should be available for everybody, and there should be a wide range to choose from, because these come from nature.
Is it going too far to say, perhaps, that this extreme limitation of eventual choice, consumer choice, is impinging on our Charter of Rights?
I would say it's definitely infringing on Canadians' accessibility and more so even to made in Canada.
Right.
You know, when anyone around the world on anything sees that made in Canada logo that we're so proud of, our beautiful little maple leaf, that's normally a product that they can trust. What we are going to see is much less made in Canada on shelves and much more made anywhere else available online. Those products are not regulated. We cannot trust what is necessarily in those containers, and that's what's going to be available to Canadians, paying exchange rates and paying heavy shipping to bring that into Canada.
So industry adaptation and support, given the potential strain on small to medium-sized businesses, what specific support and resources is CHFA offering to help these companies navigate and adapt to the regulatory changes?
Well, we've started with education. A big part of our campaign, you know, we spoke about the consumers not really understanding perhaps the regulatory systems here in Canada, but also, you know, extending that education into companies. We did a Deloitte study, like economic study. Health Canada did not do their own economic study, so they're not aware of even the impacts that this will have because it's a market they have failed to want to understand. We want to know industry, we want to know the impacts, and we have shared that with industry at large to say these are the economic impacts on your business, and we've shared that with Canadians as well. So education was a big thing. We did, there's new labeling laws coming into force in 2025. CHFA invested in actually making mock-ups of those labels. Again, Health Canada put out new labeling laws saying that these new labels would be easier to read. They never tested them. They never user tested them. We did. We did mock-ups. We got packaging, we put labels on it. They're actually not easier to read. So we have those tools to educate industry about what the impacts are going to be to them. And we've also put out tools that they can use to educate their customers, their consumers, that retail stores can use. We've put out the SOS postcard. We know that it's very hard for industry who are very busy business people to necessarily take the time to speak to their MP or to write their own letter. We put out the postcard that we sent across Canada so that people can mail it in. It is free to mail your member of parliament, so we put out postcards. We've also put out Health Canada's exam book that they failed terribly, I must say. But this is an educational tool because we want industry and we want consumers to be informed about what will happen so that they can make their best decision on, do I need to support this campaign? Do I need to support this industry? Do I need to support these products?
Have you seen a particular tool, technique, approach work best at this point? Do we have the numbers to understand that?
Well, we know that the postcard campaign and the electronic at saveoursupplements.ca, there's an electronic format of the postcard. By entering, your simple postal code information, you can send off a letter. We know that that has generated more letters than any other campaign in the last 20 years of Canadian history. So we've tried to make it very educational. We've tried to make it extremely simple for the people who wish to get on board to use their voice in Ottawa. And that is exactly what we need. We need everybody, industry and concerned Canadians, to lend their voice to this, be it a postcard, an electronic, or even a call or an email or a meeting with their member of parliament, because that is where we are going to make a difference. Members of parliament need to listen to constituents. They need to know what is important to their constituents so that that can be a conversation in Parliament, on the Hill,
Absolutely.
Now that they're all back in Ottawa.
And one thing to keep in mind for folks is that they work for us. I mean, they are literally working with and for us as it relates to this. I think I heard you at the top use a pretty incredible number, 350,000.
Over 350,000 that we know of, because we gave industry and retailers the print files so that they can print their own. So.
And balancing and safety, accessibility. Can you elaborate on CHFA's stance on finding a balance between ensuring consumer safety and maintaining accessibility to a wide range of NHPs?
Yeah, I don't think anybody in industry is against that balance. The safety and health of Canadians is our driving light, right? That's what we all strive to be. We are proud of the regulations that we have built. This started, years ago in 2004. It's like I said, it's world renowned. Countries like Australia, New Zealand, even the United States. We've been in conversations with brands in the United States who are very concerned in issuing trade complaints because they want to get their products into Canada. They want to be compliant because our standards, again, are so high that it's a product to be trusted even for them out of the United States. So safety is our priority. We are well in agreement with certain parts of the proposed regulations when it comes to site inspections, when it comes to thorough testing. 100% Canadians deserve to trust what is in their natural health product, be it bottle or container or packaging. We're not in agreement, but there has to be a reasonable way for that to be achieved at a greater level than it is already, because it's already pretty robust, but in a way that allows innovation,
right,
new products to come to market, right, that allows a startup company to be innovative and bring
not
something
going to squash
market.
the small guy.
You cannot squash this. And even the big guys, which we have a few in Canada, really, they're 80 to 90% of this industry is small to medium business. But you speak to the big players, of which there are a few, even they are supporting, because they know that small business is what brings innovation. It's what brings new ideas. So we need this to be, a balance, and we're there for it. We just need help to come to the table with us so that we can find a solution.
How might this regulatory change and access to natural health products affect naturopathic doctors and homeopaths and dietitians and nutritionists that use these on the day-to-day?
I think what we all need to understand when we're speaking about, a natural healthcare practitioners, they have studied these products.
Right.
They have a lot of educational history and hours put in to study these products in order to recommend products to Canadians so that Canadians can take care of their own well-being, right? It's empowerment. We're very concerned for them. We're very concerned for them because the basis of that is these products can be therapeutic. These products can be extremely helpful. And if the healthcare practitioners no longer have a variety of products to help their patients, then that's also going to be an industry that we're going to see fail when people get into healthcare to help people. How can we take those tools away from them, and how can we take that accessibility and variety away from the healthcare professional? It's destructive on so many different levels,
sure,
and it's a domino effect. We can go all the way into the medical profession. There are many MDs out there
Absolutely,
who rely on natural health products, as a balance effect with treatment plans, and those are also going to disappear. So it's a big industry, and this is why it's such a huge concern for us right now.
So let's bring them into the fold, the clinicians, whether you're a functional medicine clinician, MD licensed, ND, homeopath, nutritionist, and let's make the call to action. It's not enough to be an advocate or a clinician and be, supportive of the industry. Get out there, act, send these letters in, visit saveoursupplements.ca, send a postcard, engage with your local MP. It's not going to happen any other way. The future of the industry, from Jules' perspective, looking toward how the CHFA envisions the evolution of natural health products industry in Canada in light of these new regulations, and also reiterate what strategies are being developed to overcome these challenges ahead.
I'm a perhaps hopeful person. Perhaps I've got my rose-colored glasses on, but I am seeing Canadians and industry lock arms and come together on this and take the high road and say, no, we will not let this industry be destroyed. We will not allow for these made in Canada products to be taken away from us. I am seeing that every single day. I'm getting emails every single day. I'm having conversations all the time about this. So I'm very hopeful, I must say. We have to keep pushing. We have to keep reaching out to RMPs. We have to keep this campaign going strong because we are being heard. And that's going to make a difference. But I am hopeful. We have a record number of booths out here at CHFA now, Toronto, almost 1,100 booths. I am just hopeful that this is a thriving industry, as it should be. Canadians are more concerned about their well-being today than any other time in history. They want to be empowered. They want to make their own choices. They want to have accessibility to education to make those proper decisions. They want to work with their healthcare professional to make the best choices for them. And I think that this is a thriving industry. Science is all in on this industry. We've had very, very, very heartfelt and deep, interesting conversations with academia, we forget about the research that goes into natural health products. That is, you know, universities around this country invest a lot into these products, into the ingredients, and in innovation, and they bring a lot, and we need to continue to help them thrive so that industry can then offer those products and continue to build not only CHFA, but opportunities and choices for Canadians.
Well, your insights, your hope, and your enthusiasm is contagious.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you so much for everything that you've been doing.
Thank you so much.
You have a pen, so I need to get my
Yes,
1000th
we have
postcard out there.
postcards. We have to
Save
keep
our
sending
supplements.ca.
postcards. SaveOurSupplements.ca, that's the spot.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Jules.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you. Thank you, Canada.